Carolina. They outworked us. Obviously, Devon was hard for us. We've had this happen in other games, but we were just good enough in the end to win it anyway. For our team, this is what happens when you have young guys that think we're going to win it the last minute of the game. And I keep telling them, you can't. We just gave them one offensive rebound after another. We're supposed to be one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, and they were -4 for the season rebounding. They got 20 offensive rebounds. So we can say Devin did his thing. We got beat because we couldn't, and I was begging them on every timeout to go block out. And what it meant was South Carolina was working harder than we were working. And it just didn't change the whole game. They had a great game plan, run the clock down and go pick and roll with Devin. And they executed. He made the tough shots. We were saying if he makes tough shots, it's going to be hard. And he made about 3 tough ones at tough times. We had a couple layups we missed. We missed a dunk. We missed a breakout. We missed a, But again, you got to give credit to them. They just played till the bitter end, and they beat us, and they deserve to win. Questions?
Can you talk a little bit about what you tried to do with Downey?
Well, we wanted him to take tough shots, and he'll make some of those. But what he started doing at the end is our big guy stood straight up and down instead of being in a stance, and he just dribbled right by him. Now all of a sudden, our big guy was our screener too. So not only were we getting screened by his guy, our guy was screening too, and he went and we put him at the line. I mean, the kid's not going to miss free throws. What I said at halftime, if we don't get them to the free throw line and they don't offensive rebound, they have 14 points at halftime. And we went out in the second half and did the same thing. We fouled them and gave them offensive rebounds. You're just not going to win. This was, as I sat there and I watched it unfold, I just said, this is what happens to a young team. And then what happened was we weren't really listening how we were trying to execute down the stretch. We were trying to make heroes plays. We had layups. We were making them fancy. We had a lob over the top out of a timeout for a dunk. It was a bad pass. Well, then come down and score it. Don't try to just throw it at the rim. And as DeMarcus walks in, and I told the team after, if he doesn't play, we get beat by 20 today. If he didn't play. And the only way we could score was throwing it into him. They did a nice thing. They put their bigger man on John Wall, a 4-man to play him, which bothered John a little bit. But as the game wore on, he was able to get to the rim a little bit more. But we just, need to be better than we were today. I know that.
It seems that in the first half, you were attempting to make a lead, you turned the ball over. How big is that?
Wait, say it again?
Early in the game, you attempted to make a run on them, you turned the ball over, and you had a chance to make a run.
Also, we had the ball up 5, and it's going to be 7-9 at half. But you have to understand the people that have watched us. We've done that all year. And when I keep saying that we may have been undefeated, but we were lucky to be undefeated, and I was being truthful. The difference was they would make free throws and make a basketball play or two that the other teams that we did this to could not do. So it's not that we just won. We did have a will to win. And I'll be honest with you, we made some plays today that showed we had a will to win. We were trying to get back, but then all of a sudden they make a free throw, they make a tough play, hard shot out of nowhere. And that's, you put yourselves in this position if you don't get the gap you're supposed to have. I thought at halftime we had a chance to be up 12, 14, make layups. We missed 10 layups. I mean, come on. And we don't. Now it's a ball game. They come out in the second half, and it's a great lesson. I've been saying it all year, but a lot of times, until you take an L, they don't want to believe you. And especially with, how young we are.
Cal, you only had 3 guys scoring in the second half. What do you make of that?
Well, they held the ball. I mean, they shortened the game and made it wasn't a 40-minute game. It was more like a 30-minute game. And so, we did miss some plays. We missed some shots, and we didn't offensive rebound the way they did against us, and we didn't shoot it particularly well either. I mean, again, they made us play the way we play. I'm not taking anything away from them. They deserved to win. They outworked us. Their game plan, what they were doing, they were well coached. They knew how to guard. They were going to let DeMarcus get his and guard everybody else. Did you kind of see it? So what we did is just kept throwing him the ball. And he said at the end, why didn't you go to me? Because we were trying to draw some fouls, and I thought we could get back and get a lead on them that way, and that's what we were trying. And I thought again, out of the timeout, we get the 3-point play, we're down 1. I think we're in good shape now with 2 timeouts. And again, we foul. Young team. I mean, just, we're not ready to be in these situations yet. We're just so young.
Is this indicative of what you think of the Giants overall, Coach?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Georgia had us beat. Auburn had us beat. Florida had us beat. We beat Arkansas pretty good. We played well. And obviously, we got beat today.
Did you think that South Carolina sort of took you out of your game? You talked about the lack of offensive rebounding. Did you think that it was because of South Carolina's defense? You couldn't pull down enough offensive boards?
Well, part of it was we weren't making any baskets. I mean, we missed, I'm just telling you, we missed a lot of plays we usually make, and it kind of put us on our heels. If we do that, we'd have been pressing more and challenging them. And when you're missing, you're running back. You can't really press. You can't get into what you're trying to do. The offensive rebound is they just outworked us. They wanted the ball more than we wanted the ball. They wanted to win the game more than we wanted to win the game.
Question for DeMarcus.
Marcus, why do you think you were so effective in getting the ball in the post and operating?
I was just playing my role, man. I did whatever I could to keep my team in the game.
Marcus, how do you feel about #1 now in jeopardy, and you wanted to be undefeated? You talked about that.
I wanted to be undefeated. #1 is all good. I mean, but #1 is not a championship, and we're playing for a championship. So, I mean.
Marcus, what do you think the guys, especially the young guys that Coach keeps talking about, you all are young and you've got to take lessons. What do you think the lesson is in this game for you all?
I mean, we just got to mature as a team. We got to learn how to work harder. We got to come in more focused. We got to play every game the same. I mean, one minute like Arkansas, we came out, played our butt, so we come in here and we get 32 hustle points and 25 hustle points in both halves.
Usually we're getting 50 and a half. We got 50 for the game.
So I mean, we just got our work today.
Marcus,
Yeah,
this is
how
the
big
toughest
was the-
environment that you guys have played in so far this year?
I mean, every away game is tough for us.
You're
I
listening.
mean, it's nothing different. I mean, we just got our work to do.
Yeah, how big was the play where there were 2 seconds on the shot
Big.
clock and they inbound?
The play before was we should have rebounded that ball. So we don't rebound the ball, and it was the same play, and then the guy kind of stopped playing, and then he fouls the ball. I mean, but let me just tell you, I just told the team, and I told them all, I want you all to think of the 1 or 2 plays that you tried to make a fancy play, you stopped playing, you didn't block out, because every one of them did it. So don't say it was just this guy or those 2 plays cost us the game, because we had a breakout layup. I mean,
Was that one of those fancy plays with
no,
Darnell
well, yeah, because
on the dunk?
No, he tried to take it with one hand, and you're on national television. It's probably not a good feeling right now. But those are all lessons. I mean, you're in this game. It's not an AAU game. It's not a pickup game. You make the play. You're not trying to. There's no degree of difficulty. Just make the play. And we had some degree of difficulty. And I think again, I keep trying to tell them they have nothing to prove. You just go play ball. You don't have to prove that you're this, you're that. Just go play ball, and we'll be fine. And and we're going to get this everywhere we go. The other team now, and I want to say this: is this the best game South Carolina's played all year? Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Some of you don't want to admit that, but yes, right? Okay, yes. All right, probably by far. But every game we played is the other team's best game. Now, if we don't want to accept that, we're going to keep losing. We play Vandy this weekend. They will play by far their best game of the year against us. And that's fine. We accept it and play. And South Carolina did it to us today, and, we weren't able to get over the hump.
Cal,
Last
would you have
question.
wanted more from a veteran like Patrick? He only took 4 shots to maybe lead the way for the younger guys.
I would hope, but you know what? We had our chances to win the game, even with him playing that way. And so there are games that, he's going to do that. We're not going to be good enough to win.
The greatest detriment to your team, Downey, or the fact that you guys missed a lot of points in the first half?
Their offensive rebounding was it. We knew Downing was going to, look, the way he plays, he's going to take tough shots. And if he makes some tough shots, you got to deal with it. You don't want to put him on the foul line, which we did. And so now he got his, but if we offensive rebound or keep them from offensive rebound, we still would have won the game. They got 20 offensive rebounds. And if you go back, they probably scored 20 points on those 20 offensive rebounds, maybe more. So, that was the thing. And most of it was we wouldn't get on a body. It got rough out there now. That thing was rough. They were low. We tried to catch it in the post, people over top, pushing, shot. Well, it's the way the game was gonna be played. You better bow up your neck and go make plays. We just weren't able to. Great lesson. Again, all the credit in the world to South Carolina. And let me tell you, the only reason, and I told Darren, I told the official to go tell Darren, the only reason I didn't shake his hand, because I didn't want to be in that scrum that was going to finish. So I went down and told the official, tell him I'll see him after the game. I'm going to get my team off this court, because I thought they deserved to celebrate and do all the things they're doing. So that's why I didn't go down and shake his hand.
Is the no